All right, so here we are in the first stage of the compost pile build, lovingly referred to as a heap back in the older days. Anyway, I use that term interchangeably. Pile or heap are the same thing. So I've taken that first layer of manure and wood bits and then took approximately 2 of those large commercial plastic bags that are thicker. I deplore plastic. If you're a composter, serious, you'll find out just how much plastic's in the environment and what a nuisance it is peeling off those sticky labels. So the other side is I could get 20 trash cans, but they're not always used all the time. So I'm finding that the heavy-duty plastic bags, I can use them several times, maybe half a dozen if I'm careful, even longer. They have a tendency to get holes in the bottom, especially if you grab them the wrong way. You'll rip a hole, scratch it on something, you'll rip a hole. And the other thing that we innately do is tie huge knots in the ends. That's not really necessary. You can grab the very top of the bag and spin it and make a long ponytail, if you may, and put a slip knot in it. It keeps the contents in and is easy to pull apart. So about 2 third bags of vegetable fruit, coffee ground matter. It's already pre-mixed. And then I took some of those sifted wood chips and some native soil and put the native soil down and then the sifted wood chips, and now I'll start my layering. So right now it's easy to walk into the pile and do that, and at some point, maybe 1/3 of the way, I've got to close the door because I can't get the spread that I need. So let's see, the rule about building a pile is to worry about the edges. If you don't sort of pack in the edges, they have a tendency to collapse. In this case, we're doing a wire setup, so we don't have to worry too much about it. But one rule of thumb is pack in your edges, let the center take care of itself. If you're in a rainy environment, you'll get a collapse in the center of the pile. That may not work for you for holding water out. So usually what I do is sort of pack in center and edges, and then if I feel like I want to capture water at the top of the build, very top of the pile, I'll sort of make a ditch through the middle. I'll cut a groove into the middle of the pile so when it does rain, it allows water to get in. But usually if you're following this methodology that I'm promoting, you'll find that you don't have to add water. If you're using vegetable matter, if you use leaves, that's a different process. Similar but different. You have to add a lot of water then, but with vegetables being such a high water content, I don't really worry about having to add water to the pile unless extreme heat has come around. And like I said, in this biodynamic methodology using the preps, I'll end up building a pile, and the next thing I do is harvest. I don't turn it. I don't have to do anything. All the labor is on the front end, and then the labor and the pleasure of harvesting what you've created.